Warning: the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Hello and welcome to this video. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope everyone's doing fine. I hope the universe is treating you fairly. Today's video, we're continuing with our Star Trek themed Mockley. Last week's was kind of the introduction into the role of Mockley Brewing and the Star Trek connection. So this video, we actually start getting into the brewing, putting stuff together, getting our components together, and we start the process. It's interesting. It's enjoyable. So I hope you enjoy the video. And as always, remember to be a good human, be good to other humans. Peace.
Hello and welcome to this video. Today we are doing the part 2 of our Klingon Mockley. The first thing we're going to do is I'm going to mix my Naruk and my yeast at about 800 milliliters of water. Don't know how well you can see the markings on the flask on the camera, but that's roughly 800 milliliters of water. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my Naruk in, which I ground into a fine powder using a coffee bean grinder. This is right at 100 grams of Naruk. Put that in. The Naruk is what's going to break down and convert your rice starches into sugars. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pitch 1 packet of yeast. This is Red Star Premier Blanc Champagne yeast. It's a real good yeast for making Mockley lift. It gives you good flavor. It gives you the desired amount of alcohol, and just works really well. So we're going to put that in. And that is, I put the entire package. You don't have to put the entire package. I do simply because I'm lazy and don't like to keep track of half and quarter and 3/4 packets of yeast. Next thing I'm going to put in is totally optional, extremely optional. Putting yeast nutrient in. The reason why I'm putting yeast nutrient in is because the weather here has been rather wonky. We'll have 2 or 3 days of 70 plus degree weather, then we'll have 2 or 3 days of almost freezing or below freezing weather. So this is just going to help give my yeast a little bit of help. And I'm putting in roughly a half teaspoon of yeast nutrient. Put that in there. Then give this a good mix. Get everyone mixed up in there real good. All right. Get that stuff going. Now I'm going to pause the camera and get everything set up to actually make the juke. Okay, now we are ready to make the juke. First thing I'm going to be adding to my pot, I'm going to have my pot, is I'm going to be adding 1,000 milliliters of water. Then I'm going to turn my stove on. Let that start to heat up. I forgot to grab a spoon. I'm going to grab a stirring spoon. I will be right back. Back with a spoon. We have our pan with our 1,000 milliliters of water. I've measured out 226 grams of regular rice flour or rice starch. And I'm going to be adding 226 grams or 8 ounces of acorn starch. And also, like an idiot, I forgot to get something to open this with, which means I'll be right back. Got scissors. So this will open package. We'll take this package. Open it. Almost bit it off, but we don't want to do that. I'll take this. And we'll put this in here. And we'll mix till we get a gelatinous porridge. This is going to take a little while, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pause the camera and turn it back on when we get to that point. Okay, what we got now is basically this in a pot. It's gelatinous, kind of porridgey, thick globule. We got to let this cool before we put it in the fermenter, and we mix we're going to mix our naruk and yeast mixture. Then we're going to put it in the fermenter, and that will be the completion of stage 1. But we have to let this cool. It's too hot. If you try to put it in the fermenter, it's too hot to put in the fermenter, and if you try to mix the yeast and naruk in it, it will kill off your yeast. So we don't want that. And in a perfect world, you would let it just naturally air cool. This not being a perfect world, I'm going to put this in the refrigerator and quick cool it. So once we get that done, we'll be ready to put everything in the fermenter and get this process started. Okay, our juke has cooled off. It is now time to add our naruk yeast water mixture to it. As you can tell, everything's settled out at the bottom. All we do to fix that is put our clean and sanitized hand over the top. Shake it up real good. Then what we're going to do is we're going to dump it in our pot. For most of it. Then we're going to real gently mix this in, which is going to make it easier to put into the fermenter when we get that far. So I want this good and mixed. So we got this in here. Gotten it scraped off the sides pretty good. So we want as much of this juke in there as we can get. So let's set that down. This is our fermenter. Set this here. We're going to dump our juke into our fermenter. And everything has been cleaned and sterilized for this purpose, so you don't get any infection or anything into your brew. So what we're going to do is we're going to dump this carefully into our fermenter. In theory. Okay. We're going to ladle it in there just because we have successfully transferred everything over into our fermenter. Oop. Oh, she set it down right. Now tomorrow, what we're going to do is we'll make more juke and put it in here. The only difference between what I did today and what I'm going to do tomorrow is tomorrow I will not be adding more yeast or Nuruk. It's just going to be straight juke. And I will wash and start soaking my rice to get the red, because I want that red color from the black rice in my final product. So I'm going to let it soak overnight and to pull as much of that red or black. It's called black rice, but the water it leaves is kind of red purplish. We're going to go ahead and pull as much of that out in the water as we can and use that when we add our rice. Friday, we'll be adding our rice. We'll be steaming our rice and all that. So I will probably just do a video tomorrow on the washing and soaking of the rice. Then Friday we'll steam our rice and we'll add it in and mix everything together and start the fermentation, we'll have the last ingredient. The fermentation process has already started, and that Nuruk and the yeast right now is attacking that juke, breaking down the starches, the acorn starches and the rice starches and the alcohol. Our yeast are multiplying, making baby yeast, which are going to make more alcohol as I add more stuff into it. So until next time, love, peace, better brewing.
Hey, it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?